What's up guys, Classic Colin here with another video. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go over the rune system. If you don't know what the rune system is, it's essentially like the new Classic Plus's version of glyphs almost. So you're going to have 3 abilities and each 3 abilities can be attached to a certain piece of gear. So let's say ability 1, 2 and 3, they can only be attached to your chest, whereas abilities 4, 5 and 6 can only be attached to your gloves. Okay, and there's going to be 12 abilities or passive abilities that can be used by each class, and we're going to start today by going over the warrior. If you're not still too clued up about the rune system, check in the description below. I'll link my dev interview reaction video where the devs go over a lot of stuff and I explain things a lot better and more in depth in that video. But in this one we're going to go over the runes for the warrior. Okay, and we're going to start out with the chest. And the first ability is Flagellation, and you're going to get a 25% bonus to physical damage done for 12 seconds after activating Blood Rage or Berserker Rage. So Flagellation in Classic is 25% bonus physical damage. What warriors needed? I'm not too sure it is, to be honest. I feel like they do more than enough damage. But if they want to give us a 25% bonus physical damage on with the 12-second duration with 2 use cases, Blood Rage and Berserker Rage, that's insane to me. Even in PvP, you can use Berserker Rage to use this, like someone used Trinket, being undead, and use Will of the Forsaken to break fear effects. So, I don't know, man. Seems pretty insane to me. Next warrior rune also for your chest, guys, is Blood Frenzy. Each time you deal bleed damage, you gain 3 rage. Now, despite the fact this ability sounds pretty lackluster, especially compared to the previous ability, which is a 25% bonus physical damage increase for 12 seconds, 3 rage sounds kind of meh. But don't forget you got 2 bleeds, you have Rend and Deep Wounds. So let's go for Arms Warrior in PvP. You're going to have Rend, you're going to crit, you're going to put Deep Wounds on things, you Sweeping Strikes, Cleave, you're going to put Deep Wounds on a ton of stuff, you can rend a bunch of people, and you're going to have a shit ton of rage coming in, man. Like, that's got to be worth something, right? Because warriors suffer from rage starvation in Classic heavily. Let's look at Fury warriors in PvE. You spec down into Deep Wounds, so on Cleave fights and stuff, and you Whirlwind and Cleave and stuff, you're going to put Deep Wounds on everything. That's going to funnel you a shit ton of rage. So, not as bad as it looks. This last rune for your chest, guys, is Raging Blow. A ferocious strike that deals 100% weapon damage, but can only be used while Enrage, Berserker Rage or Blood Rage is active. The Raging Blow, guys, it's going to deal 100% weapon damage. It doesn't say that it strikes with both weapons like the modern version of the ability does. It just says it deals 100% weapon damage. So I can actually see a pretty solid use case for this with the Fury 2-hander build that I see people run from time to time. Also, there's another rune, which is this one right here. Now, seeing as you can use Raging Blow when you're enraged, this enrages you and increases your damage dealt by 25%. So maybe you get to 80 rage, you pop this, and then you spam Raging Blow. But we don't know the cooldown on Raging Blow. If it's a low cooldown or no cooldown, I could see this being pretty fucking solid, honestly. Warbringer. Your charge, intercept, and intervene abilities are now usable while in combat and in any stance, and will remove all movement impairing effects when activated. As far as PvP goes, this is huge, man. If you ever played a warrior, you've been stuck getting kited by hunters with no chance of getting to them whatsoever. You just slowed forever. You can only charge once if you're out of combat. Hopefully you don't get in combat beforehand, and it just feels trash, man. You get a single Nova from a mage and that's it, GG. Honestly, it really does suck. This is going to stop that. Now, I think the fact that you can use charge in combat would have been enough. Now, on top of that, for some reason, it also removes everything. So if you're Nova'd by a mage, you can just charge. I guess the mage play would be to sit in the warrior's dead zone when you Nova them. And yeah, that would be the play as a mage. But this is still really strong, man. Like, even in Battlegrounds, the ability to move from target to target with essentially 2 charges now rather than just intercept, which is all you've ever had in Classic, and Warriors was still super strong. But this in PvP is insane. This in PvE is nice as well. Like, if you want extra mobility, this is super nice, especially as like a prot warrior. You can charge in defensive stance now. Fury warrior, you can charge in Berserker stance, and you're just going to have a ton more mobility overall. So if mobility is something that's important to you or important in this certain encounter that you're in, then this is a solid pick, honestly. But for PvP, this shit's super good. Onto the leg runes now, guys. I'm going to start off with Furious Thunder. Thunderclap now increases the time between attacks by an additional 6% and can be used in any stance. For those of you who don't remember in vanilla, Thunderclap reduces the time between attacks by 10%, so adding the 6 on, it would obviously be 16%, and it lets you use this ability in all 3 stances. I don't know, man, this ability seems super lackluster to me personally. I was expecting it to make your Thunderclap spread your rend ability maybe. That way it'd tie in nicely with the 6 rage every time your bleeds tick, and you could just AoE bleed everything and just have infinite rage. That would have been cool, but 6% increased time between attacks for 16% in total. I don't know, it seems super boring to me personally. Now I'm getting excited. The next rune for legs, Consumed by Rage. Enrages you and grants you a 25% melee damage bonus for 12 seconds or up to a maximum of 12 swings after you exceed 80 rage. Obviously this is big fucking damage, man. 25% melee damage bonus for 12 seconds again. After you hit 80 rage for up to 12 swings, like, it's big, man. You're gonna chunk people with this shit, so yeah, leg slot's looking good. This definitely saved it. Another leg rune, guys, we've got Frenzied Assault. While wielding two-handed weapons, your attack speed is increased by 20%. So when I first saw this ability, I was so hyped, man. I thought, yes, if there was one ability I could pick from a future expansion, this would be it, but I was mistaken. I thought this was the Taste for Blood icon, but it's not. It's the Frenzied Assault icon, both of which are from Wrath of the Lich King. Frenzied Assault would just be stupid. There'd be no point in putting that in vanilla, but Taste for Blood would be a great thing to put into vanilla. Honestly, I don't know why it's not in here. Obviously, these are only till level 25, the runes. There's going to be more runes added later down the line for the other level brackets that we're going to be getting into, and I just pray that one of them is Taste for Blood, because it just works so well as a warrior. The second that you get into Wrath as a warrior and you rend something and then you get the overpower proc and you hit them with the overpower proc, and it feels so good, man, because overpower's got such a high chance to crit, which then applies your deep wounds. You've got your rend on the target, everything lights up. It's just so good. It feels so nice to play, and playing without that feels like dog shit in comparison. It really does. Like, you can keep your Blade Storm and your Heroic Leap and you die by the sword and your Frenzied Regeneration, and I don't care about none of that shit. This feels good from an early level all the way to level 60. It feels good in every type of content. It's just a feel good ability that's real nice to press, and they're lacking and missing something by not putting it in. I just hope that they put it in a later patch. Onto the gloves now then, guys, and the first rune that we've got is Victory Rush. Instantly attack the target, causing 151 damage and healing you for 10% of your maximum health, only usable within 20 seconds after you kill an enemy that yields experience or honor. So thoughts on this? Victory Rush, great. It's going to make the leveling experience a little smoother as a warrior, because it's fucking abysmal, and it's not going to stop you from dying if you pull more than 2 or 3 mobs. You're still going to get wiped off the face of Azeroth, let's be honest. So unless you got all your cooldowns up, obviously, and you got some guy healing you and you got potions and all that shit. But I don't know, I don't think it's going to break the game. It's not going to make warriors the best leveler in the game or anything. It's just going to mean that every 2 to 3 mobs you haven't got to sit and bandage or eat to full, so it will stop that a little bit. I don't know, I don't really think this has a place in Classic, to be honest with you, but you could say that about a bunch of these abilities. It's cool. I would rather see Taste for Blood. I'm just stuck with that now. I want Taste for Blood. I don't want Victory Rush, but that's just me. Next rune for the gloves, guys, is Devastate. While you are in defensive stance and have a shield equipped, Sunder Armor also deals 100% weapon damage, increased by 10% per application of Sunder Armor already on the target. So this is a super cool ability for prot warriors, man. It's going to give you ramping up damage. The only thing I'd like to see with this ability, honestly, is it says that when you use Sunder Armor, it's going to deal 100% weapon damage. I think that in Wrath, the Devastate animation, not only does it sound cool, but it looks cool as well, and it's super iconic. So I'd like them just to add Devastate, personally, opposed to this whole Sunder Armor. Like, just make Devastate do the Sunder Armor effect. Increase the damage by 10% per application, but have this little icon, because the icon looks dope as well, a lot better than the Sunder Armor icon, and have the whole sound effect and visual effect of Devastate, because that looks super dope. Like, Maybe when you press Thunder Armor, it will just do the noise and do the sound effect. I kind of hope it does that at least. You can just change the icon with the micro if you're that bothered about that. But let's hope that's something that Blizzard does. Here's another one going on to your glove, guys. For this rune, it's Single-Minded Fury, which is straight from retail WoW. While dual wielding, your physical damage and movement speed are increased by 10%. Now, I'm not too sure Fury warriors need a baseline 10% damage increase, seeing as they're by far the best DPS in the entire game. So let's just give them 10% more damage, though that was before all the other classes had all the other stuff all the other classes are getting. If you're interested in what the other classes are getting, subscribe. Obviously, next class is coming tomorrow, the next class. We'll do one a day, man, till we've done all the runes of all the different classes. But yeah, 10% damage increase and 10% movement speed's nice. But I don't know, man, very passive, very passive. There's a lot of passive abilities for warriors. I'd like to have seen something else here, to be honest. Last but not least, guys, we've got the final glove slot rune, which is the final rune out of all the warrior runes, and it's Quick Strike. Reckless instant melee attack with your two-handed weapon, dealing 50 to 83 physical damage. This ability benefits and triggers all effects associated with Heroic Strike. As far as Quick Strike goes, guys, I'm guessing this is just your basic Mortal Strike replacement ability until you get Mortal Strike at a later level. It doesn't seem to do much damage. It doesn't even deal like a percentage of your weapon damage. It just deals a flat small amount. Looks like it's going to benefit from things that increase the damage of Heroic Strike. Maybe it's an instant Heroic Strike essentially. Maybe you will use it at a later level. I don't know. Taste for Blood would have been way better than this shit. To give us Taste for Blood, man. Like, even if we don't get Mortal Strike to level 40, we can rend stuff, then overpower it, and it feels good. But I don't know. I have to post all over in every forum. Let me know if you guys would actually like to see Taste for Blood. Or is it just me that wants that? And do you guys not think that belongs in Classic? I don't know. You look, fucking Warlocks got Chaos Bolt, bro. And they're going to be running around looking like demons tanking. So, if they can do that, why can't we just overpower? I don't know. That's going to be it for this video anyway, guys. Thank you if you made it this far. I do appreciate the support. If you could hit this with a like and you could give me a subscribe, that would be super appreciated. I'm a tiny little channel, and every one of your subscriptions pops up on my phone and it puts a little smile on my face at this point. So every little helps, and who knows, one day we might blow up and you can say I was there from the start. Nice one, guys. Peace.